Hello, welcome everyone. We just wait a few more minutes.
Hello, Anna Maria. Welcome.
Hello.
Good to have you here. We'll wait for about 1 or 2 more minutes for people to gather. Hello, Claudia. Welcome.
Hello, dears. Let me see if I am well connected. Can you hear me well?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome, dear ones. Welcome. Liana, Maria.
Now, I can't hear you too well, Claudia.
Let me see.
Yeah, now it's better.
Now it's better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
much better.
my earphones. Okay. So, welcome. I said welcome to everyone. Welcome, Katreni, Loredana, Corina, Roberta. So glad you are with us. So glad again in this beautiful space, dear ones. So I let you, Liana, to open with your message and Anna Maria to open with your message. I will intervene afterwards. Maybe you feel inspired, Liana, to do the attunement if you want, if you wish, if you feel. Or you, Anna Maria, you choose.
Thank you. Yes, I will slowly open the space. Anna Maria, if you would like to make the attunement today, it will be really nice. If you don't feel like to, I will do it. Just let me know.
Yes, please, Liana. It's not my thing.
Okay. I felt that. Okay. So, welcome in this beautiful space called Contemplative Hearth, where we gather around our inner fire, our inner heart space to deepen the understanding and the contemplation of the materials that Richard offered so generously to us in all his transmissions that are in the free resources stream from the Jinkies. And there are many, many, many of them. And in our Romanian hub at HarRa Center, we gathered as a dedicated team of translators, and we approach one by one these materials as we resonate and they call us, and we translate them in our mother language, and also we are transformed by them. And from this kind of inner process came the idea, and Claudia opened two beautiful spaces, one in Romanian and this one in English, the global one, in which we can actually look again with more patience in a different heart mind space and see how we can contemplate together and what other understandings or maybe epiphanies or revelations we find in these beautiful free materials. And today we decided it was a bit of a hard choice. We had two resources. This one that is also the title, The Core is Love, and then the most recent transmission of Richard that is about the male ego and the rewilding. And I was talking to Anna Maria, and I think somehow we will benefit of both transmissions one way or another, because they are both beautiful. So I will just ask you to slowly gather your energy into your body with some deep breaths. And with each inhale, you can feel how you come closer to your inner home, your inner heart. Maybe it was a long week or a busy day, and we just come back to our core with each inhale that we take. And for each exhale, we just let go of everything we don't need right here and right now. So we center and then we let go. And in this simple way, we just open our sacred inner listening space. We become a bit wider, more relaxed, more receptive. And we also attune ourselves to everybody who is present in this space, physically, or maybe we'll connect later. And we feel how the contemplative space becomes even wider and more informed with the frequency of the transmission and with the frequency of our own heart. And we just scan ourselves from head to toe and let this beautiful, warm, pure frequencies to wash us over. And we can feel the attunement getting deeper, our mind opening to higher wisdom and understanding, and our heart receiving and expressing the frequency of love. And for the final part of the attunement, please bring your awareness in your inner belly, a bit lower than your navel, where people, some traditions call it the HarRa, some traditions call it the Tantien, which are mentioned this special inner point as the 1 point or the 0 point. And we bring our awareness there. And we can start to come here in the now. And I invite you from the start to come to join us on the scene. There is a little hand there on your screen. And it will be our joy and pleasure to have you here to express what is there to be expressed. Whether you know or you don't know what to talk about, we are here together. And thank you for being present. And I will let Anna Maria to say a bit about this resource, this material, the core is love, and maybe about the Venus sequence that she's been facilitating, and it's getting close to finalize the cycle of it. Thank you, Anna Maria.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Anna Maria, if you could just speak a bit louder, we can hear you, but
Okay,
just
okay.
in the background somehow. Thank you.
Yes, I have a problem. I've lost my. I can't even find the word. Anyway, Can you hear me right now?
Yes, we can hear you.
It's
But
better.
if you
Okay.
could talk or either a bit louder or closer to the microphone.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
now
talking
it's
as
perfect.
closer
Now it's
as I
perfect.
can.
Thank you.
I will eat the phone.
Now it's great. I can hear you.
Okay.
You can put the microphone in your throat and then.
Okay. So I've listened to the video, I think, I don't know how many times, 3 or 4 times, just to get in the vision of Richard of what love is for him. And I was talking yesterday with Liana, and I said, I think we should start with a very simple question, but a very inquiring answer for this question is, and the question is, what is love for you? Because to understand that the core is love for myself, I need to understand what is love for me. But turning back to the transmission that Richard gave us, and I love when that he started with this is the way how I see what's happening in this moment. And for him, as I understood, love is spring, love is unity. And after the winter, that could be the context of a war where you don't find food, outside it's cold, so you are like in a survival mode. Always and always will come spring, and this spring is love. And as we are even in this keys of the week, the 56 and the 60, it's all about structure. And autumn has to come and winter has to come, and maybe this is a winter time with the war in Ukraine and the economic provocation that we live in this moment. But all is just to be reborn in a new structure that it's in the context of love, in the context of the unity. Because in these times, in a wonderful and magical way, we are more connected to one another, more in this altruistic way of being of the humanity. It's more manifested than in times of I wouldn't say peace, but yes, I would say even peace. What other things that I liked about this transmission, as I said at the beginning, is contemplating love. And yesterday I searched the etymology of love. And I found out that love comes from holding together. So another question that pop out, it's what purpose is humanity holding together? What is the purpose of humanity? That is in each person alive, but maybe We're not conscious about it. We're not looking at it. We're just looking outside and staying in that survival mode. And I invite you to contemplate what is love for you. And not in what you were taught about love. It's about your experience with love. What is love for you? How you would describe it in words, in poems, in songs, in drawings, dancing. Just stay in the presence of this lovely word. And after that, contemplate the core is love. And as Liana said, me and our group, because it's not mine, I am a part of the group that I'm guiding through the Venus sequence. We are finishing on Monday. And the first thing that comes out from all this adventure of the Venus sequence is that we've started in February, and we started in the 14th Jinki, that it's my core wound, and we are finishing on my birthday. That is my life's work. So it was a great experience, and it was about love. And I'm so enthusiastic about receiving the feedbacks at the end of the journey, and how was the journey for each friend. And I will be very happy to tell you, but after this Monday, how was it for others? But for me, all this being the guide and not being I wouldn't say the beginner, but the seeker. Yes, the seeker. Being the guide was wonderful adventure, and we formed a great, wonderful community. We have a new family. In our families, we've created a new family, a family where love is in abundance. There is no fear. There is only acceptance and transparency, and everyone is free to talk or not to talk. And we are united by the purpose that was and is the Venus sequence. Thank you very much. I hope my voice was clear enough. And Liana, Claudia, if you who wants to take the stage.
Yes, thank you, Ana Maria, so much. And also, Liana, thank you for the beautiful attunement. And thank you all for your beautiful, beautiful presence, because every presence can be felt in the field. We know that we are co-creating these spaces, and especially when we are going to share about love and about such a deep topic that is what happens when we lose the connection with love. it's something very sensible and something so alchemical. So thank you for the question, Anna Maria. What is love for any of us? And this is a vast question to be contemplated, maybe for our whole life, but also in every moment. Because actually there are only moments of love. And if we can make the whole life a beautiful moment of love, this is precious. I listened to this some years ago from a very famous actor here who was presenting a conference, and I was so impressed by this perspective that remained with me. So I will pick up some ideas that were expressed by Richard in this video that we are going to contemplate together today. The core is love. And the first one that impressed me was that whenever we are facing a fight, a conflict, be it literally, like we are confronting today with the wars, the one in Ukraine, and also in some other places in the world. But also it can be a fight, a conflict that is emotional and that is in many other planes, let's say, of our being, in our relationship, in our family, in our communities, on a subtle plane, let's say, or more subtle plane. What it happens to us actually is not first and foremost what the mind tends to communicate to us. It's not that we are losing the truth, because most of the conflicts appear because we want to defend the truth. But actually, what we lose first and foremost, it's the connection with the core that is the energy of love. And actually, if we pay attention, including to our body, in those moments we realize that we lost the connection with our HarRa. We lost the connection with our core, with the center of the center, or of the centers, let's say. So what we need to recover in order to find the peace is to reconnect with our core. How do we do that? First of all, how do we realize that we lost it? Which are the signals? How do we decode this? Maybe these are questions also to contemplate and to share today, if you feel inspired to come on the stage and to open your mics and to share. How do you realize when you lose the peace? How do you realize when you really lose this connection with the one point? And what do you do, or how do you do in order to remake this connection? And another idea that impressed me really, because I felt it so deeply, was that pressure that actually we start putting on ourselves whenever we lose this connection. So Richard uses in this video this metaphor with a ball. If we are in the ocean or in the sea, and we want to maintain a ball under pressure inside the water, and we keep it with our both arms, but we realize that we cannot keep it forever like this, because it's such a huge pressure that sooner or later the ball will escape and will push upwards. So we'll come upwards. So exactly in our life happens the same. In a way or another, that pressure starts to reveal inside our body, in our relationship, and in our experiences, in our life, and will come up. And we will be somehow forced to see it. It will be unavoidable. we will see it, and we will find ourselves so uncomfortable with that pressure. And in a way or another, we will discover that we lost the connection with the deep love that we are, in a way or another. So maybe it is good, I don't know, beautiful, precious, healthy even, to start to contemplate together and to share together little stories from this kind of disconnections, and after that, reconnections with the essence of our being, that is love. We may speak about really fights or conflicts, or we may speak about subtler situations or not so dramatic, but also very deep, because we realized how this connection with love really made us be or go far away from our center. So thank you so much for listening. There were only some seeds, let's say. So I will share afterwards from my stories, but I want to let some space for you to come and to let your voices be listened. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claudia and Amalia. It was a really beautiful weaving, what you shared. And Anna Maria, I was thinking about you this week, that next week is going to be your birthday. And you told me that you went into holiday. And I thought, what a beautiful way to celebrate. Like, you start with your soul family and then you go and enjoy the holiday. And it's for me, it's an interesting metaphor, that of the pressure, because whenever I felt separated or disconnected, and sometimes it was unconscious, sometimes just life or reality reminded me in usually unpleasant ways that I'm disconnected from my core. And it was rather a pull, not a push that was the result of pressure. It was more like the coming towards the center that Richard talked about in this transmission. So I felt like I was pulled in again to what was essential and important, because usually I disconnect from love and from myself when I get involved a lot in things that are outside of me. Like, I have this tendency to go in many directions, and if I find tense situation as well, my energy tends to be scattered. So whenever that happened, for example, something comes to mind when I was living in London, and I was trying to balance a new workplace, studying there. I was working full time while studying part time. My daughter was about 5 to 6 years old. I was trying to balance also my relationship with her father, and I was trying to make everything work at once, if possible. And at one point, she just got sick. She made an appendicitis, so everything in my life had to just stop, like my studies, my work, because I was in hospital with her for about a week. And we were just spending time together with her, recovering. That was the system there. They were allowing the parents to accompany in the same room the child. And, I got to feed her again and then walk with her again because it was hard for her to walk because of the operation she undertook. So I had to hold her hand again and to make small steps again, like when she was a little baby learning to walk. And the hospital also had a playroom. So we were walking every day in the playroom and we were playing together. And it was such a beautiful reconnection to love. For me, it was, and for me, love since then always meant connection with myself or connection with the other. And this feeling of being somehow involved in life, but also having an oasis of peace and always being connected to what's important and essential. And from that moment, for me, it was like a huge breakthrough because since that moment, I was paying much more attention to where my energy goes. And I managed to take some tough decisions after this. But as a conclusion, I always felt, and there were more moments in my life that was similar. I felt being pulled back by love, pulled back to my center, or back to my home, to what's important, to what's essential, always. And as for the question, what is love for me? I found love to be related to feeling alive. So sometimes I was receiving a proof of love from someone that tasted maybe bitter or was uncomfortable at the beginning, but it made me feel more alive. It brought me back into reality. So it's not always, and also I have received beautiful and sweet and uplifting love. But for me, always it was more aliveness in my life, in my body, in my presence, and maybe this is why I'm thinking Richard associated the love with spring. It's a kind of a burst of life. This is what love always brought me. And of course, there is always this nuance of love that I find is more melancholic or contemplative, that arises when I'm in solitude and when I'm actually connecting with the more refined spaces of my being. But that is such a subtle frequency that sometimes I feel it's a space where actually love merges with truth and with timelessness and with eternity. So it's much more there. But for my human experience, love always means more connection and aliveness. And thank you for the opportunity to share this with you. And I will be very happy to hear anyone who feels like sharing about the love they felt, encounter, or embody. Thank you.
Thank you, Liana. Thank you, Claudia. While I was listening to you, two of the jinkies that I have in my profile pop out with two of Richard's sentences. One is, I don't think it's Richard, this one, but it was in the book. The purpose of life is being alive. And this is the 28 Jinki. And for me, this is love. Is love of life, love of being present, love of letting all in and enjoying every second of life. And everything that is suffering, just to accept it with love and to understand that, at least for me, suffering, it's all about expectations, about fantasy, about how I would I would have like this day to be. But even the suffering, it has to be accepted with love. And another sentence was from the 14 Jinki, that is my core wound, and every time I read the core is love, I always go back to the core wound. And it was a question: are you compromising love? And for me, love is to, as I said, let life in, discover life, love life, live life, and above all, live the present moment. Because life is only in the present moment. And by accepting it, by seeing that all the suffering, it's just interesting today, all the words are coming to me in Romanian. That's why I'm making so many pauses. Suffering is only, please help me, Liana, tipar.
Pattern.
A pattern. Suffering, it's only a pattern. It's only something that we absorbed from our culture, but it's not real. It's only limiting us to embody what life really is. And these patterns, these structures, they were good. They helped us humanity, long time ago, but we don't need them anymore. So let the suffering in, love it, understand it, and transform it. Love is just like the, I don't know, the earth, that you can model it. Love is everything, because, in the end, you love even your suffering, because that's why you hold it together inside yourself. And for me, this is love. Living life, being a contribution in the world for the next generations, for the children that will absorb the culture that they will be born in. So everything that you do every day, think about the next you that it will be born. What are you letting to your next you? What is your wealth, I would say, that you are letting to the new you that will come here tomorrow, or after 100 years, or 1,000? So every day, take a step in loving yourself, loving the present, and manifesting something new and full of love for the next you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Gratitude, Liana and Anna Maria, for your sharings, for your visions, and also Liana for sharing from your story. Thank you so much. And we have Priya with us. And yes, Priya, the mic is yours now for your share. Eager to listen to you.
Hello, good morning, beautiful ones. What a beautiful room so far. I just returned from a vacation with my children and just returned late last night. And so it's the morning and I'm waking up and this receiving this room and all the beautiful presence and this beautiful topic of love. And I can really relate to what a lot of you have shared so far. Of that coming together. On the trip that I just took, I was visiting my husband's family. He has a brother and a sister who also have children. So we went a full day's drive to a different part of the state and visited them for a week. And so I was just in the experience of coming together. And, they're all very different, have different lifestyles, but just that piece of coming together. The last night that we were there, I had a dream of my husband, and in the dream, I was sitting on his lap, and there was like so much love in the dream. And I just felt like it was because we came together that there was this healing between all of us. And it's really felt so simple. Like it wasn't that I had to do anything there, like that there was anything driving me with an agenda, but it was just the simple kind of coming together, which for me was like a softening and a release to realize, oh, there's nothing for me to do here but to come together and to be open and listen to my center as well in all the interactions. So listening to you guys, there was a couple layers that were coming up for me in my experience. I really loved hearing your explorations of love, and I'll just share one of what it kind of piqued in me in my own lived experience was I just was drawn recently to going on a journey of doing a cleanse for my body, and I took my time to get into this cleanse because it was going to be 21 days, and I have children and a life, and so I took some months as I heard this like calling me to really say yes to it. And when I finally made that like choice, it really, I could see that it was coming from love, to go on that journey. And so I just came off of the cleanse a few days before we were leaving on this journey. I kind of just decided to be very open on the trip, and not to try to be like, okay, I'm going to prepare this separate food, or I was still taken care of, but as I was just witnessing the experience of kind of joining in, going out to restaurants with the family, after being in a very, like, I would say, more quiet and simple way. You know, some of the time I was fasting and some of the time just eating very simple. And so to come into this like celebration of of being with family and the joy of sharing and eating was quite an experience, and I think I'm still going to be being with it as I return home. But one of the things as I was lying and listening to everybody here was I was feeling the softness of coming back to myself, that there was a distraction in that whole experience of coming together with the family. Not that it was right or wrong, but I'm just noticing as I am here in my quiet space, returned home, and there's like a coming home to different parts of myself that were kind of I was distracted away from in the whole experience. And somebody mentioned, what is it that you notice, you know, when love is gone, and or when it's there? And people were talking about this sense of aliveness, life, and that's very much true for me too. Is when that's gone, I'm curious, like, oh, what is away from love right now, or what is going away from myself. So that's an indicator for me when I don't, and it's a physical thing too, and emotional. So it's kind of like checking in on these different levels. So like physically, I can feel my posture can roll forward or become tense, and not just be like with the heart open and out and alive. I hear a garbage truck starting to descend on our street, so I think I'll pause for here because it will be pretty loud. Okay, so much love, and thank you for having me in this beautiful presence. All of you are so wonderful.
Oh, Priya, thank you so much. You see, you spoke about cleansing, and the garbage car is there. Just to reflect on the outside, also the cleansing, you know. Thank you so much for all your share. Thank you for the frequency and the beauty of the energy, and also for the beauty of the share. I loved a lot this idea that you repeated in your share of the peace of just being together. And this is to be at home, like you said, inside, and of course outside as well, wherever you travel with the other, in a relationship or in a connection. But yeah, I liked a lot this, and I felt it deeply into my being and into my body. And this creates this deep connection with the center, and this connection with the frequency of love, and cleanses this pressure that many times we tend to put it on ourselves unconsciously, but sometimes we put it consciously. So I will, if you allow me, just continue the share, because this is what actually we are doing in these spaces. We are weaving actually the share. It's a common share actually, you know. So I will continue the share with this a little, not very specific share from my life, from my experience, but just I noticed a repetitive pattern a long time in me, and this pattern is to put a lot of pressure upon me. And the reasons were various, of course, a long time. I was very competitive, so I was practicing sports, I was practicing gymnastics, so I wanted to attain high standard results, so of course I put a lot of pressure, including on my body. Also, when I worked in organizations, big organizations, multinational organizations, so I wanted to reach high objectives, KPIs, and so on, deadlines, very short deadlines, and so on, so lots of pressure. Also, in my role as a mother, many times I put a lot of pressure in me in order to demonstrate that I'm a good mother. So that pressure, I noticed that actually was taking love towards myself first. So I noticed it repetitively now with this self-awareness path, and especially with the Gene Keys. I started to learn, and it's a continuous process. I'm deep in it. To learn to notice when my body is tense and where, in which part. And most of the times I notice the tension in my solar plexus, there in my abdomen, and sometimes in my diaphragm. So, and wow, I know that whenever I am tensed, I manifest low love towards me. I now notice easier, and I see that I start to become not reasonable with myself. So I learn to relax, to bring deep relaxation into my life. I have Gene Key 40th in my evolution, so I learn to pick up a very simple technique that I know, or practice or exercise that I know, in order to pause and to bring myself into deep relaxation, because I know that from there I realize my reconnection with love towards myself, and then of course towards the others afterwards. So I learn to be open to receive fresh energy, inspiration, solutions, to relax, and from there to be received by the others. So thank you so much for inspiring me, Priya, and I pass it on then to Liana and to Anna Maria if they want to really continue share and to say something to you, Priya, and to all of you, and waiting of course for some other beautiful souls and friends here on the stage to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claudia, for bringing forth some more aspects of love and the way you actually live it and feel it in your body and how it impacts what happens around you. And Priya, thank you for your share too. I would just like to shortly say before our next speaker will be on stage that I found myself in your story. Like I'm currently traveling abroad to visit my sister's family. And there is this type of, coming together, going out, having meals either in the family or at restaurant. And it's this kind of effervescent kind of an atmosphere. And I am usually more of an introvert, and I like my space and my solitude. And I was just thinking too, that I'm very enriched by this connection, and it's exactly what the 56 says. Like I feel that my senses are so so filled and nourished being here. Of course, we talk more, we hug more. There are two beautiful cats, kittens, actually in the house. They are new to the house, and we enjoy playing with them. So is this actually quite a traditional family time and coming together, gardening, and all this. And then at times I also feel like it's much harder to actually reconnect with myself. Like how much of this is connection, and how much is a distraction from my usual rhythm and my activities. But I'm taking it all in, because I know at some point I will only have the imprint of the experience and some memories. So thank you for sharing that and actually making me aware of my experience here as well. So I thought that somebody will be coming. Jill, maybe, I don't know if I saw somebody with a raised hand, but try again if you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
She's here on the
Oh,
stage.
perfect. I don't see you. Sorry.
Yeah,
But it's okay, you're
sometimes
here. It's perfect. Thank
sometimes
you. Welcome.
Clubhouse plays a little bit, with
Oh,
the little icons, and sometimes we don't see the people who are on the stage. So Jill is here with us, and we can
it's
hear
great.
you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Oh,
Jill.
okay. Yeah, I have no idea how this whole thing works. So thank you. I really didn't want to speak, but I couldn't help but push myself, because I resonated so much with just the process of learning how to love myself in order to be able to find, present moments and to be able to have actual relationships with people. I just turned 54, and I discovered the Gene Keys right at the beginning of COVID, and I just can't even imagine. I mean, I guess I was doing all that kind of soul searching, but I was scattered all over the place. And when I found the Gene Keys, I just was so grateful to have it all under like one umbrella, and yeah, it's just such a big deal for us all to own ourselves and to captain the journey of our life, in a loving direction. And I grew up on a farm in Nebraska, and I just had a really isolated life. So when I was 18, I mean, as soon as I graduated from high school, my bags were packed. I couldn't, my mom told me I couldn't leave until I graduated. And then I just am realizing at 54, like the big picture of this trek I've been on to just try to figure out what is out there besides kind of violent silence. And I'm finding my way back to a soft silence. And I also, this past year, I added up the years, 2022, 6. I was like, oh, it's the year of love. I wonder what that means. And for me, my this man I had been living with and had been with for a few years, I had to move out really suddenly, and I was also an empty nester, and that happened last December. I did the Venus sequence the year before, and I feel like because of that, my life ever since then has been so magical. I'm right now standing by a river. I'm staying for the summer on a river. I'm watching this dog. But because of this dog, I get to go swimming every day and live in a paradise. And this man is just came in my life. I've been single most of my life, except having 2 kids. But I'm just finding love after. So my stepfather also passed away a couple months ago. I spent 3 weeks with my mother. My dog died while I was gone. And then this man fell in love with me, and I'm just having so much fun. Anyway, it was recently my birthday, and I've had a lifelong issue of not being able to see myself. So thank you for listening. I've just, I'm starting to feel seen within myself, so I can make sense out of my life. And for me, this was a sweet place to share it. I hope it landed okay. Thank you.
Oh, Gila, it was so wonderful to listen to that inner child voice, the happy voice, the magical voice of fulfillment, happiness, and enjoying the present moment. Happy birthday, and I'm very happy that people like you share their stories, their magical stories, and I'm happy that when I hear and they live the happily ever after. So this is a happily ever after moment. Living this heavenly present. And thank you very much for your sharing, for seeing yourself, and now letting us hearing yourself, your inner being, your inner core. It was lovely to listen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks from my side as well, Jill, for your beautiful share. Very crystalline. And I want to congratulate you for manifesting that man in your life. And wishing you really beautiful, beautiful moments full of gifts and CDs in your experience and in the new geometry of togetherness. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I look forward to connecting with you all more. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill, and everybody who has shared something. I've just felt or have a new definition for love as being self-expression. And I think if we connect with the beginning of this contemplation, when we are talking about the connection that is actually lost when we are not feeling the core of love anymore. I think that self-expression is such a beautiful rainbowy bridge towards connection. And sometimes we just maybe repress our authentic self-expression exactly from fearing the rejection and fearing of not receiving the love or understanding. But the paradox is that we get more love. And even if it's only the self-love, the fact that we cared enough for ourselves to have our back and express what we wanted to say. And I think I'm feeling the frequency of the 31 coming coming soon in transit, because this this perception that I have now as love being self-expression is quite strong, and I think it comes from that proclaiming of the inner truth, no matter how it looks like or how it sounds like. So thank you for sharing that, Jill. And I could feel a lot of a richness of experiences and emotions, and there is strength and also fragility in what you've shared. And thank you for this. And if somebody else feels called to join us here and let love speak, we invite you. We have, I think, some minutes left, so I'd be very happy to hear you.
Thank you, Liana. That was beautiful. Let love speak. Beautiful. I will answer to Sherry's invitation to share some practices that I use in order to reach this deep relaxation. Actually, they are so simple, and I started to learn to really look at the physiology of the lines and of the keys. And actually, I saw them since the very beginning, since my first reading of my profile, but I was not applying them. And now I apply them, and it's something very effective. For example, as I am a 2-4 profile and I have line 4 in purpose, also in my SQ, the conscious breath for me is really, really, really so effective and helps me to pause first, and then helps me to really deepen myself into my inner space of my body, and also helps me whenever I'm outside, because luckily I'm really blessed to have a garden. So I go out in the garden, doesn't matter the season, and I just breathe consciously outside. And then I see really how this simultaneity between the connection with my inner presence and the connection with my outer presence, because I really start to notice beauty in the nature. So, and this really relaxes me. I mean, I start to really forget all the objectives, plans, targets, ambitions, desires. So I'm really becoming immersed with this field of presence, you know. And it happens. I mean, it's so simple. So line 4 has this physiology, breath, conscious breath. And also I like to dance. I'm also a dancer. I have many lines too. And whenever is possible for me, I really just play a favorite rhythm, favorite music, and I used to really to dance alone. I love it. I like to do it. I also like to connect with water because I'm a Pisces, and I have many jinkies in Pisces. My ascendant also is Jinki 55 in Pisces. So for me, water is a blessing. All the elements of the earth are a blessing. But for me, the water is so relaxing and so inviting to release any tension that I used to connect consciously with the water. Taking a bath or a shower, or just really putting my hands under water and just focusing on this sensation of of the water touching my hands, and I just say this, I release now through this wonderful touch all the tension, all the grief, all the whatever it is, the frustration that I have, with the help of the angel of water. So they are so useful for me. Yeah. So thank you for inviting me to share this. And thank you for listening.
That was so beautiful. I wish that I lived in the same city with you, Claudia. Aw, love that.
Yeah, you are welcome. And I noticed since Richard created or received and transmitted the Holy Invocation of Solace, it was 2020, yeah, with the first deep dive of activation sequence. And he invited us to do it. And he invited us to realize that whatever the hour or the minute when we do it, there are people on this beautiful earth who are also doing it. Because it doesn't matter if we want to do it or feel to do it in the afternoon, there are some other people who do it in the morning or during the night. And so we can use these simple practices that are so beautiful and also so effective by also thinking in those moments that maybe some other people on earth are doing something like that, so to connect with them and also, to support, to inspire any other humans and also some other forms of beings and life here on earth, to release tension through this simple technique that we are doing, because we are so connected. We know it already. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia, for sharing these beautiful, simple practices. And I think each of us, by the way of contemplation and connecting to our inner wisdom, will definitely be inspired, and maybe something emerges for you as a personal practice. I find inspiration in the practices that are shared and rituals shared by others. And in time, after a while, some new and individuated practices I found that pop up from me, that are exclusively for me. And I invite you to maybe, find a balance between being inspired and connecting with your inner rituals that are already there and waiting to be discovered. And I would just add a bit more, and then I think I feel complete, because the practices and rituals came in the field. At the end of this beautiful video, The Core is Love, Richard mentions the power of prayer that he was reminded of while he was traveling and talking with indigenous elders. I think it was in preparation for the dream arc. And each one of them mentioned prayer and the power of prayer. And I would just like to, plant in the today's field this this beautiful seed of prayer and ritual and the power they have in our lives and in connecting with the wider tapestry that's actually all this field of the earth of Gaia, and maybe even the cosmical field in which the ritual and the prayer prayer actually propagates. So thank you for everything that was here today. If anyone else feels like sharing here on the stage or in the chat, it's most welcome. And if not, maybe Anna Maria or Claudia have something to share in the end.
Yes, I would like to say my way of what I think about prayer and how I like to pray. And always my prayers are thanking prayers, like thank you. I thank to myself, I thank to life, and it's a kind of there was a word now it doesn't come to me, and I know even why. I have a problem with a finger that got burned right 15 minutes before we've started, and I have this pain in the body, and my energy is in this finger in this moment. So I'm a little limited with the words. Gratitude. Okay, thank you, my lovely mind. The word is gratitude. So I would like to invite you to see how prayer of gratitude would be for you. Gratitude is thanking in advance for something. And for me, prayer is just like the art of contemplation. Because when I pray for something that already happened, like thank you for the health of our family, or thank you for the love, the harmony, and everything else, I'm just putting my energy into those contexts. And without knowing, everything that I'm doing in that day or in that week is in that context of health, of harmony, of love. And you can try a prayer not for help, but a prayer of gratitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna Maria. That was so beautiful. And also beautiful to listen to the voice of your little child there on the background. And thank you, Liana, so much for this image of inner rituals and for reminding us about the beauty and power of prayer for us and for others. And actually, I saw, and I'm sure that all of you, being part of groups, also being community builders and lovers, you have seen this. And I have seen a long time here in HarRa Center since 2018, whenever somebody really felt the need to ask for help, for support, and we started to pray for him, for her, just place him or her in the middle of the circle and just turning on our altars for him or for her. It was something really, really so beautiful and powerful, and it helped a lot on many layers. And it helped for him or for her, but also to the family. So it was also transgenerational, not only for that person. So it is really something so beautiful and so normal, actually, because we have in our texture this communion. We have it as a quality. We only remember it and remember to manifest it, but we have it there. And Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you for this beautiful space. So whenever we come together in this space in English, globally, and also in Romanian, this room has a special frequency. Maybe you notice it. It's something in the air and also something inside us because, yeah, maybe these free materials that Richard offers so generously from the source, they come with this frequency of communion. So I want to thank you that you chose to be here today. I want to thank also to those beautiful beings who will connect afterwards by listening to the recording. And please do share to whomever you feel they will like and love it. Share the link and invite them for our next meetings. We will take some days and some weeks actually of vacation. We need it. So we will come back with this room maybe end of August, second part of August. Until then, we will be traveling and we will need to be with our families and we will need to be present and connected wherever we travel. So we wish you all beautiful time with your beloveds, with your families, with yourselves, with the places where you go. And let's come together in a few weeks, yes, end of August. Please stay tuned because we will publish the rooms and we will announce it through Facebook, through Instagram as well, through these channels. So thank you so much, Anna Maria, for being here. Thank you, Liana. As always, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that we are doing together. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Priya. And thank you to all of you who are here to listen. Liviu, Sherry, Shannon, Ionuț, Marius, Daniela, Christy. And if there are some other people and I don't see the icons because sometimes it happens, I thank you also to all of you. Much love to you and let's stay tuned. Let's stay connected. So maybe a few more moments to stay in silence and after that we will close the room.